So hi, my name is Amanda Cohen, and I've been working with Elena's Light for a year and about a month now. So that's exciting. So I started a year ago, and I was taking a class called Oscar Schindler's Humanities at my school, at the University of New Haven, and we were told we had many different options of how we would like to get involved with the community, and I chose to tutor with Elena's Light. And so I was told to do 10 one-hour sessions with a student, and afterwards I just fell in love with tutoring my student, and I've just like fallen in love with her family and everything that has to do with her culture and just learning from her and her learning from me. So I've just continued with it, and it's just been one of the most rewarding and remarkable experiences of my entire life. Okay, so in the beginning, it was more of an introduction to English. It was more of teaching common phrases, starting with a review of just learning what knows, learning from her, seeing where she is, and then from there, adapting the curriculum. And then from there, it moved into her learning how to drive. So I helped her get her driver's permit, her learning more about just common English phrases and colloquialisms and learning the difference between words. She got very confused quickly, but then the more I started to see her, I started to see her twice, sometimes three times a week, and then she just picked up more. And so it's changed over the year, but we've we've definitely tackled a lot of subjects. She was very shy, and I don't blame her. I was also shy when I first met her, but when we first started working together, she had a great grasp on English. I was very surprised. She could speak it, she could communicate it. She was shy to speak it at first. She was a little nervous in case she messed up a sentence or if she didn't say something correctly. But as time went on, she started to get more comfortable speaking the language, and she struggles with writing, primarily writing sentences physically, and formulating the sentences she sometimes struggles with, but she speaks it and she reads phenomenally well. She's an incredible reader. She reads very well, which I'm still surprised every time she reads something. She can read upside down. I found that out because I was writing something for her. I was writing homework notes for her, and she started to read what I was writing upside down. It was incredible. I believe the first moment I met her, I learned a great deal from her. Just being immersed in her culture, it's so different from the American culture. I automatically learned so much, and just it was something, it was a very new experience for me. And it was just so beautiful just to learn something from someone so different from me and a culture so different from me. And especially her children. She has three girls, young girls, and I love her kids so much. Oh, I love them so much. We've gotten close too. It's just so interesting to learn from a child who's also learning English. So I've watched learn English with her oldest daughter. So that was interesting. And just learning the different cultural aspects and like just the customs that her family has and like the traditions, and experiencing the amazing food, the incredible food is just wonderful. And just sitting down and having a cup of tea and talking. That's not something I do in my culture. I don't know. Maybe that's just because I don't do that, but I just think it's beautiful to experience another culture and different customs that are different from my own, and to be immersed in that, because I'm not only teaching Laylee. Laylee's taught me more than she'll ever know. It's a beautiful thing to be able to share cultures. So in the beginning, it was about an hour or two. I would stay for, we would do about an hour lesson, and we'd have tea before or after, and we would just kind of just talk. But the more I went over there and the more I got to know her family and her children, the more I would just stay. She would ask me to stay longer, and then I would just stay longer. So I would say like a few hours I would go there. Sometimes I just go and I start by hanging out with her kids, and we do homework. Sometimes I read to them, they read to me. And she cooks. I usually stay for dinner when I go over there. Yeah, it's usually a few hours. And we usually have about like 2 hour lesson now. We've kind of made it longer. When she was learning to drive, that was a long time. She would print out a bunch of packets and we would go through the packets, and I was usually there for like 2.5 hours to put the lesson with her for that. So one day she just said, I want to drive. And I went, all right, let's do it. I had no idea that's, whoa, words. I had no idea that this was something she wanted to do. And I thought it was just awesome that she wanted to learn to drive. So she said, I want to do it. And then, so we started out by, in the textbook that my class gave me, there was pictures of like road signs and understanding the ways of the road. And so we went through that first. And she caught on very quickly. She grasped all those concepts very quickly. We used a lot of videos. When I say we, I mean I had a partner who was with me at the time, but she decided not to continue tutoring. But so she helped me with this too. Um, we decided to use videos, and at one point, I actually created videos. I would I would have my friend hold the camera, and I would drive somewhere, and I would demonstrate different things, and then I would show it to, or I would send it to, or I would find YouTube videos. And she's a very visual learner, so I did whatever it took to help her learn visually, and that was very rewarding for her because I learned how what was easiest for her and her methods, and that helped me as well. Well, I've never actually seen her drive, but she has her permit. So I know she understands the laws of the road very well. I've quizzed her, I've given her tests, I've helped her with different practice packets, and she's solid on that. She's very knowledgeable in that subject. So she's working with Sanctuary Kitchen. There's the partnership between Elena's Light and Sanctuary Kitchen, and she is a phenomenal chef. But she didn't always understand the English words for different pots or pans or ingredients. She also didn't understand the difference between like a texture. She didn't know what a texture was. So one day I brought in a bunch of textures. I brought in different cloths, I brought in metal, I brought in all these different textures for her to try so she could feel them. And there was another time where I made a pie with her. I wanted her to experience something in the American culture, and I thought, what is more American than apple pie? So we made an apple pie. I just tried to do like little things to get her immersed into the American culture, just to understand a little bit more and just to have a little bit more grounds in there. Um, and it was just very interesting. So I've experienced her food, she's experienced some of my food. She likes Italian food, I'm Italian, very Italian. So we've discussed differences between our cultures, and her just her life, how it's different than mine and her kids. And it's a very interesting experience to learn from her children too, because they are already bilingual and they can speak Farsi and English. And it's very cool because they're also teaching me a little bit of Farsi as we go along. So that's awesome. I can speak some Farsi, not very well, but I can say some phrases here and there. I have I have so much of an appreciation for other cultures, and to have actually sat down and experienced a culture that is so beautiful as her, it's life changing because it makes you think about your own life. And it's just some of the simplest things, just the way that they have family meals together, the way that they prepare everything together, how they take their shoes off when they enter a house. There's these little baby things that I don't think about, that I don't do. It's just something that's made me rethink my life, my culture, and just seeing how close of a family and how beautiful their family is. It's honestly touched my heart. And just helping them has helped me so much. Helping, learning her culture, her customs, her just having these experiences with her has really helped me grow as a person and just appreciate everything in my life more. It's helped me become more humble of a person, more, I think, grounded as a person. It's just, I think it's just beautiful, and I am so grateful to be working with Elena's Light. It's the most rewarding experience of my life. I honestly think it is. Sure. So I am a criminal justice major. I just graduated from the University of New Haven. I'm also a theater arts minor. So I have a lot of training in communications, and I have a lot of training in victim services and victimology. So I have a lot of background in that. I have always been very interested in helping people and tutoring. I tutored my entire life. I've always been a tutor. I tutored a lot. I worked with a lot of disability programs growing up. I did a lot of speech therapy growing up. Well, I had speech therapy growing up. So then when it came time to helping tutor, that was the first thing I thought to do, was to help with speech therapy, which has actually helped me with training for Elena's Light, because it's helped me um, teach somebody how to speak English, especially since I had trouble learning English growing up. So that was something that's definitely helped me as well. I think it is a bright future, that's for sure. The mission statement is so true. It is creating opportunities. It's giving resources. It is giving so many answers and just opportunities to people who deserve it. And I think oftentimes refugees aren't given these opportunities. And I think it's just so beautiful that Elena's Light is offering these resources to these wonderful people, because I can speak from experience. Is incredible, and she's brilliant. She is so sweet, and she's funny, and she's such a hard worker, and she's dedicated. So she deserves everything as much as I do. I'm not a refugee. I'm not an immigrant. I was born here, and I think she deserves everything. And all of the refugees do. They all deserve the same opportunities and resources we do. So I think it's beautiful that there is a facility, an outlet to do so.